I'll call to order the 32nd meeting of the Mayor and City Council meeting in regular session on Monday. This is Wednesday, May 29th, 2019. We will begin our meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance led by Mayor Mo.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Rau, would you please call the roll?
Mr. Sidnor?
Here.
Ms. Nicholas?
Here.
Mr. Laz?
Here.
President Smalls?
Here.
Mayor Mao?
Agenda item 2 is approval of minutes. Council, I'd seek your approval for minutes for the 31st meeting of the Mayor and City Council held on Monday, May 13th, 2019.
Mr. President, make a motion to approve the minutes from May 13th, 2019.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Les. Any discussion? Hearing none, Ms. Rau, please call the roll.
Mr. Sidnor?
Yes.
Mr. Laz?
Yes.
Ms. Nicholas?
Yes.
President Smalls?
I vote yes. Agenda item 3 is report of the mayor and city council. Tonight, we'll start with Councilwoman Nicholas.
Thank you. I hope everyone had a happy holiday. Myself, along with my council colleagues and the mayor, we attended the Ivy Hill ceremony as we do every year. It was wonderful. It was a little hot. The other thing that I wanted to talk about was just staying hydrated. As everybody know, I'm on a health kick, and I say that our health is our wealth. And with all of these hot temperatures, I see a lot of people coming through the system with dehydration. The recommended water to drink is eight ounces of water a day. And, you know, if you're on medication and things, being out in the direct sunlight is not healthy. So I just ask everyone to be mindful of that. Soda and juice don't count. You have to drink water. It's much healthier for you. And when you become dehydrated and disoriented, you can have seizures and you can even die. So I just ask people to just be mindful of that with these hot temperatures that we're having and stay hydrated. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Nicholas. Councilman Sidnor.
Thank you, Mr. President. On May the 15th, we had the job fair at the Robert E. Petrie Center. I want to thank the communication department, Ms. Audrey Barnes and her staff, and also Director Barr and her staff as well, setting everything up. We had a lot of people come out. We had over 40 employers that was participating in the job fair. Almost 300 people, I think, came through, maybe anywhere from 200 to 300 people. Got a lot of good feedback from that. Folks want to see that done again. We have one of the vendors out here in the community. He came out with his apprenticeship program. I think he's going to speak to us tonight, Mr. Noble there. Also, I want to pass on some information about, kind of echo what Councilmember Nicholas was saying on June the 8th, 2019, at Woodmore Country Club. There's going to be a free health seminar, and you can sign up at contacting laurelmaryland.com, or you can call 301-497-1105, and they're going to be talking about cancer, stroke, heart attacks, obesity. Once again, it's going to be held at Woodmore Country Club, Pleasant Prospect Road in Mitchellville, from June the 8th, from 9 o'clock in the morning to 11:30 in the afternoon. 11:30 in the morning, excuse me, I'm sorry. Once again, you can contact, you got an RSVP, so you can call 301-497-1105, or you can also contact laurelmedicine.com to register for that event. And also, there's another event I want to pass along. Excuse me for a second, I lost it. The Veterans Fair. There's a veteran job fair going to be held at FedEx Field on Thursday, June 27th. It's open up to all veterans, of course, and the military spouse as well. So that's June 27th at FedEx Field. That's 1600 FedEx Way, Landover, Maryland, 20785. That's going to be Thursday, June 27th, 2019. 11 o'clock in the morning to 3 o'clock p.m. And you got to register for that event as well. So you can register, go to recruitmilitary.com. Once again, that's recruitmilitary.com /Washington, D.C. So anybody out there, veterans, of course, and their military spouses, that's open to you as well. And that concludes my report, Mr. President. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Sidnor. Councilman Les.
Thank you, Mr. President. May 22nd, we attended City Hall in the Park at Discovery Park. Thanks to the mayor and the city staff that provided good information for our population that came to the City Hall in the Park. As mentioned, on May 26th, we had the Memorial Day service at Ivy Hill Cemetery. Somebody asked me what's the difference between Memorial Day and Veterans Day. Well, there's a big difference. Memorial Day memorializes those that have lost their lives, the over 1 million people that have lost their lives, men and women, in defense of this country. And veterans, we honor all veterans who have served, living or deceased. And it was a good service. It would be interesting if we could get more people out there, but we're in our 36th year, if I remember correctly. Mayor DePietro said. And it was a good service. I'd like to congratulate Stephen Allen, City of Laurel. They have been designated the winner for the Maryland Municipal League Achievement Award for community resiliency for large city winter population over 10,000. And that award will be made at the MML conference in Ocean City. Again, congratulations, Stephen. That concludes my report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilman Les. I had the opportunity to do attend many of the same events that my colleagues did, City Hall in the Park, and the Ivy Hill Cemetery Memorial Celebration or recognition. But I also, in support of the mayor on behalf of him, had the opportunity to attend and present citations from the mayor's office to the graduates at Laurel High School, the honorees who were receiving awards, which is always nice to see the number of students who have made academic achievements to be recognized in that way. I also presented a citation from the mayor's office at a celebration for Dr. Osafo Dixon that was held at the DePietro Center. It was held in the African tradition with drums and food and beverage that was native to Ghana. It was a very well attended event, and I was very pleased to have the opportunity to attend. That's my report, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. President. Speedy recovery to Tom Buckley, one of our dispatchers in Laurel Police Department, also John Hoaglander, who is longtime fire service member, as well as the former director of Maryland Fire and Rescue Institute. Speedy recovery to them. Did have the opportunity to attend the Laurel Arts Council meeting on the 14th, as well as the job fair. Let me give kudos to Councilman Sidnor for the work he did, along with city staff and others. He deserves all the credit. He did a lot of work. He was there with his new suit on and everything that day. He was looking good. I did tell Keith, I think as I was leaving outside, a young lady was speaking to an individual and looked like he was proposing a job to her. So a lot of people showed up. I thought it was well attended. And again, Keith, congratulations. I did have the opportunity, ran late to the Laura Spring into Summer 5K over at Mount Peter Community Center. I thought it was at 9 o'clock. It was at 8 o'clock. By the time I got there, there wasn't a lot of parking left. They wouldn't let me pull into the lot, and they were off and running. So also had the opportunity to stop by Vansville Elementary Vansville School, the Family Fun Run event, which is at Laurel High School, and then the Town Center had an event that day, and ended up later that evening on the 18th at the Laurel Fire Department Life Members Dinner, so congratulations to all of them. You heard we did have City Hall in the Park. I want to thank all those residents that came out to Discovery Park. It was a good turnout, a lot of good discussion, and thank council and staff for being there as well. The Department of Public Works luncheon, I want to appreciate again for the invitation and thank him for always inviting us, and good time and good food. Did have the opportunity to attend the Villages of Wellington annual meeting and give a report there, and got some questions, and we'll get back to those individuals on those questions as well. And then on the 24th, I was invited by Steny Hoyer, Majority Leader, for an infrastructure roundtable at Bowie City Hall. Talked about things that municipalities are looking for, and again, a lot of good discussion there, and I appreciate the Congressman for the invitation. And then we had our joint Memorial Day service, which was our police, fire, rescue, and the American Legion Post 60 as well. So a good time, and appreciate that. Tomorrow, May the 30th, they'll be having from 7:30 a.m. until 10:30 a.m. Coffee with the cops at More Than Java, 385 Main Street. So stop by if you have any questions or just want to see and talk with police officers. And then on June the 1st at 9 a.m. is the annual dog show at Alice B. McCullough Field. I do have 2 appointments and then 1 citation, Mr. President. Nicole Gore for the No Kill Animal Shelter, and Diane Brenier for the no-kill animal shelter. And I'd ask for your approval on that.
Thank you, Mayor. What's the pleasure of the council?
Mr. President, I move for the approval of the mayor's appointments.
Is there a second?
A second.
Thank you, Councilwoman Nicholas. Any discussion? Hearing none, Ms. Rau, please call the roll.
Mr. Laz?
Yes.
Ms. Nicholas?
Yes.
Mr. Sidnor?
Yes.
President Smalls?
I vote yes. Mayor Mo?
Thank you all. Thank you, Mr. President. I do have one proclamation, 2019-11, whereas the 2019 American Cancer Society Relay for Life is being held Saturday, June the 8th through Sunday, June the 9th, 2019. And whereas Relay for Life is an important tool not only to raise money to fight cancer, but to find a cure and heighten the awareness of the community on the importance of prevention and early detection. Whereas Relay for Life is a unique event, whereas proceeds from the event will enable the American Cancer Society to help prevent cancer, to serve as those that are diagnosed with cancer, and to give them hope. Now, therefore, I, Craig A. Moe, the Mayor of the City of Law, do hereby proclaim June 8th as Relay for Life Day in the City of Law and call upon all the citizens to join me in recognizing the efforts of Laurel's many volunteers that battle against cancer. Joanne, you want to do this? Who's got a team? Anybody have a team that's here? We're good. We'll make sure they get it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. We'll move to agenda item 4A, report from the city administrator, Mr. Goddard.
Thank you, Mr. President. As I start every month, it's always been a busy month here in the city. I want to thank all the department heads and city staff for all their hard work. And just point out an individual here tonight that is really going to be bringing the police department ahead as we bring our new police chief on board in the next couple of weeks. Ruth Hyatt is with us tonight. As many of you all know, she's no stranger here to City Hall. But as the office manager at the police department, for those of us who've been around a long time, we know who really runs these places. The office managers do. So, Ruth, thanks for being here tonight. And you've got a lot of work cut out for you as you bring the new police chief on board. And we look forward to working very closely with you. Thank you for your willingness to do that. It's a tough job. You've been through a couple chiefs through the years, so you've been around for quite a while. Thank you for your service. Mr. President, as we close out the academic school year, the city is celebrating the graduation of 2 of our city employees. And one is our fiscal specialist 2 in payroll, Melba Kazada. I apologize. Melba, I love you. Graduated from Howard Community College with a certificate in bookkeeping with 1 class left to take in the fall semester, and she will have her associate's degree in accounting. Now, she would not allow us to say that she had graduated because she had 1 more class. So she wants to make sure that we all know that she's going to be there in the fall, and she's done all of this while working full-time for the city. And our second graduate is Laura Ginnan from the police department. She's our public relations officer. Graduated from Georgetown University with her master's degree in marketing. So as we continue to work very strong on succession planning in the city and preparing the next generation of individuals to step into our roles as leaders and managers within the organization, these folks, as well as many others, are well on their way, and we're very, very proud of them. So congratulations to Melba and to Laura. We're very happy for them. Park and Rec, been a busy month for them. Worked with the Arts Council to sponsor the Pilate High School Arts Showcase at SIPS and the Laurel High School Arts Exhibit here at the Municipal Center. They completed preparations for the summer operations at the Lake House, Municipal, and Greenview Drive pools. And I understand everything went extremely well. Packed, full house, standing room only. I'm not even sure you could stand. Everybody was really packed. Assisted with a job fair at the Robert J. DePietro Community Center Again, the staff certainly congratulates council member for what a great job. Little did we know that it was going to be that great a success, but it was something we were all very proud of. Completed the exterior trim and eaves painting of the Barkman Kaiser Safety Complex and the Partnership Activity Hall. Completed repairs to the Greenview Drive Cabana deck, and completed the stormwater management project, yay, at the lake by the Clean Water Partnership with Prince George's County. Congratulations, Joanne, for that project and bringing that to closure. And also installed 10 birdhouses. How many do we have now? 16. So there's 10 more birdhouses in the city parks that were built and donated by the American Girls Club from St. Mary's. In information technology, they continue to transition to the county computer-aided dispatch and record management system. That is in progress, making great progress. Software is being loaded and training begins next week. So we look forward to this, and Chief, I know you look forward to it as well, making sure that our police department is tied in with all the networks in the surrounding region. The new voicemail system will be installed next week at City and will be operational by the end of June. And Kevin has convinced all of us that it will be seamless. It will be seamless. So you heard him say that. Public Works preparing for the 4th of July celebration. Painted the double yellow lines on Cypress Street, Dorset Road, and Montgomery Streets. Conducted citywide street sweeping to clean the debris along all the gutter pans. So please pay attention as you see the street sweeper and use caution as you're going around them, as well as our refuse trucks. Began the citywide inspection for potholes and began the repairs. Trimmed 33 trees and cut down 1 tree. So there was someone that called the office the other day, curious about who it is in the city that actually takes care of the trees. So obviously our Public Works group is very active, as you can see, trimming 33 and cutting down 1 over the last 30 days. Hot taped the stop bar on Van Dusen Road at Olive Branch Way. Completed the stop bar reinstallation on 8th Street at Montgomery Street and 7th Street at Main Street. Reviewed, updated, and entered 405 public requests for service. Responded to over 475 voicemails and emails requests from residents. So to say that they're a pretty busy group is an understatement. They're very, very responsive to the community. Attended the Council of Government Recycling Committee in Washington, D.C., delivered 33 refuge recycling courtesy notices and over 1,700 no plastic letters to our residents. And as we all know, they held their semi-annual electronics recycling and paper shredding event that was a tremendous success. Our Office of Communications been busy, busy, busy. The Department of Communications has been doing some very, very diverse programming over the last several weeks. Been paying off with a big spike, a huge spike in views on the Laurel TV official YouTube channel, where you can find every government meeting they cover and every story that they produce on the YouTube channel. So I really encourage our viewing audience to tune in and take a look at some of the great, great work that they're doing. The most popular story on YouTube during the last month was about Lieutenant Scott Globerman of the Laurel Volunteer Rescue Squad, who saved a woman's life by talking her out of jumping off of a bridge. And he was recently acknowledged by the Prince George's County executive for that as well. The second most highly viewed story in May, and we're tremendously proud of this. It's a hometown team. It's about the championship winning Pilates girl lacrosse team. To say that we're excited about them is an understatement. This is a big, big event. Ladies lacrosse and lacrosse in the region. It has not been around that long, but Pilates really won the championship, and we're tremendously proud of that group. Not to mention the University of Maryland. The University of Maryland ladies once again won the national championship in lacrosse. Round out the top 3 of the 4 stories for the month was a woman who was approached by a phony Uber driver. So there are some great safety tips in the story that everybody should pay attention to. Tune into the YouTube and see that story about the Uber driver. And if you have some time, please visit it. Scan through, take a look at all the stories, and you will really be surprised at some of the stuff you're missing. At staff meetings every week, we start off every staff meeting with taking a look at what's going on around the city and how we're sharing that with people through YouTube. So the communications department's doing a great job and really helping all of us understand the great stuff that's taking place. Budget and personnel services, the budget. What else can we say? What else do you all do in your spare time? In addition to the preparation of the budget and the document, each staff member has been working on a comprehensive update to the procedures manual for each position. They've conducted a number of training webinars for city staff members, and I can't thank Michelle Saylor enough for taking on this initiative and working with our human resources section to really start providing enhanced training webinars to our managers and to our supervisors. In the past month, we've had handling personality clashes in the workplace, mastering the art of coaching and team building, and setting clear goals and performance expectations for employees is the webinar for tomorrow. So everyone sitting here, you will see them there, as well as a number of other city employees who aspire to be leaders in the organization. Our department heads have reached out, identified individuals that have expressed interest in moving up within the organization. And in the EOC, you'll see quite a few of them in these training webinars as well. So thank you very much, Michelle, for the work that you all are doing. Police Department, as the mayor had mentioned, tomorrow morning, Coffee with the Cops event at More Than Java Cafe on Main Street. I look forward to seeing a lot of folks there. And the Fire Marshal, Mr. President, unless there's any further questions, I will end my report with the fourth video in a series presentation that will take you behind the scenes in the Office of the Fire Marshal and Permit Services. So if I can ask Dave to come on up and introduce any questions, Mr. President.
I just have one, Mr. Goddard, and that is, where does the city council meetings rank in the YouTube listing of most viewed?
In our heart, they're always number one. They're always number one.
Great answer.
Always number one.
Thank you, sir. Thanks. As you know, we put these videos together, and I'd have to thank Joyce and Audrey Barnes, because in order to make these videos, even though they're only 3 or 4 minutes, it's a lot of work. And it's not easy when you're dealing with me and my staff. And talking about my staff, and you'll see them in this right here, is as a director, your staff is what makes you. You know, they're the ones out there doing the work. They're the ones, when we get a complaint about trash being over full or somebody dumps a couch on the side of the road, we're the ones out there making them remove it and get it taken care of. We try to do it pretty quickly. We know it's an eyesore. But this video is just kind of basically put together. They did a nice job putting it together, and I think you'll see that the crew, it's a dynamite crew back there. From building permits to dog license, electrical, fire, life safety, any permit you would need would start here. As you enter the office, the first person you're going to encounter is a friendly face of Hannah. Hannah will be your first step in the process of applying for a permit.
My name is Hannah Glenn. I'm the administrative assistant for the Office of the Fire Marshal and Permit Services. Some of my main responsibilities include answering the phones, scheduling inspections and meetings for the fire marshal, and I also am in charge of our rental licensing program.
Check, please. All right. Make it to City of Laurel, please. All right.
Hi, I'm Lisa Anson. I am the permit coordinator for the Office of the Fire Marshal and Permit Services. I actually process all the permits for the residential and commercial buildings within the city. So we generally process about 1,300 a year. So we schedule those and assign them to the inspectors. And then at the very end of it, they get a use and occupancy to use and occupy the space.
Hi, I'm Melanie. I'm the Deputy Director for Office of the Fire Marshal. I spend a great deal of my time reviewing plans for new construction projects, reviewing permits, and supervising the various inspectors in the office. I look at the plans to make sure that they meet current code, and once the plans are released, a lot of times I will also accompany the inspector to make sure what has been constructed meets the plans.
Welcome to the office of the Deputy Fire Marshal. I'm Richard Blankenship. And my job here in the city is to inspect all commercial buildings, which are due to be inspected once every 2 years. We're looking to make sure that they have enough fire extinguishers, their exit lights are working, and things of that nature is safe for our public to be out there, and also the employees. I'm also responsible to do all the schools in the city of Laurel, all daycares in the city of Laurel, which are done once every 2 years. I also do some code enforcement when I'm out on the street, and also do some parking citations as well.
My name is Frankie Bowers. I'm a code enforcement officer for the city of Laurel. I'm assigned to the Fire Marshal's Office of Permanent Services, and my job title is Code Enforcement Specialist. My duties include property standards enforcement. I routinely patrol the city of Laurel for code violations. I respond to citizens' complaints for property standards violations, and also do parking enforcement.
We do, daily canvasses of the city, looking for violations, property standards. Biggest ones are trash, grass, unregistered motor vehicles, inoperable motor vehicles. That's our day-to-day. We also pick up any signs that people place down. We have a lot of people who put yard sale signs out, and over the weekend they don't pick them up, so we pick that up. We try to keep the city as clean as possible. And to conclude the segment with the code enforcement, there are several ways to report violations. You can do it 100% anonymously. You don't have to tell who you are. You can report it by calling the office directly at 301-725-5300, extension 2238, or you can download the My Laurel app through the city website.
I'm the building inspector for the city of Laurel.
A lot of times I'll also accompany the building inspector or one of the property maintenance inspectors, go out in the field to either review drawings, go over plans and permits.
Hello, I'm Danny, the rental inspector for the city of Laurel, and today I'm just going to show you a couple things when I'm out doing my inspections, which is the majority of my job, making sure it's working. We have utility cabinets here to make sure you got clearance, nothing stored where it shouldn't be, make sure everything is working order, make sure especially in the wintertime you have heat. And one of the main things we check for is sprinkler systems. You can see a sprinkler head here to make sure they work, and the new smoke detectors, I need to test those, and for carbon monoxide detectors also, just to make sure that we have detectors and to make sure they are in working order.
My name is Mike Thomas. I am the electrical inspector for the city of Laurel. I do all the electrical inspections, commercial, new work, new residential, new construction, everything. Do a lot of use and occupancy permits, inspections. Some building and mechanical inspections also, just certified on the side there. It's a great job, and I love the city of Laurel.
That's a quick look at what we do here in the Fire Marshal's office. I'd like to thank the Communications Department for putting their effort into this. A couple other people I'd like to thank is the mayor and the council, because we're the only jurisdiction in the state of Maryland that has a 100% fully sprinkled law that requires every building to be sprinkled. On top of that, don't forget to come down here for Popcorn Friday, as all the funds are donated to the Employees Relation Committee or the Secret Santa Fund that the city supports. Thank you and have a nice day. So in order to close that out, Popcorn Friday is on Friday, so we have that. And I did confirm this with Joyce, that the camera adds about 10 to 20 pounds on there, so I'm sticking to that rule. So thank you. Thank you.
Outstanding. Mr. CA, is that concludes it? Thank you. Thank you for the report. Thank you, Mr. Cope. We'll move on to Agenda 5, public hearing. Members of the public are asked to sign the speaker list at the back of the room, which I have in front of me. Council President calls the speaker from the sign-in sheet. Each speaker is given asked to give their name and address for the record. Each speaker is allowed 3 minutes. I have one person signed up to speak this evening, Mr. Mike Noble. Good evening.
Turn that on.
I'm Mike Noble. I live at 808 Green Hill Avenue here in Laurel. And I just wanted to speak about the job fair on May 15th. I was invited by Councilmember Sidner to attend, and who I represented was the Sheet Metal Workers Local Union 100. And it was a great event. We got a lot of great motivated candidates, but I wasn't there to direct hire. What I was there to do was inform folks about our apprenticeship program. And so that's what I'd like to do tonight, because I figure there's a lot of people here, and there's probably, you might know a few people that are looking for a great alternative to college. So our apprenticeship program is a 5-year program. It's paid for by the dues collection of our local union membership, right? So the result is, after a 5-year program where an individual is taught the complete sheet metal trade, they have no student loan debt. It's an earn as you learn program. Apprentices start out making $18 an hour, and as long as they pass their classes and show up to work on time every day, they get a $2 an hour raise every 6 months, until at the end, when they graduate, they become journeyman sheet metal workers. They make over $40 an hour, over $80,000 a year on a regular 40-hour week. And it's a great opportunity for a lot of people. And what Brother Sidner was saying is, that sounds like the best kept secret around. And so we don't want it to be a secret, right? It's something that's, near and dear to my heart, obviously. But there is a lot of building trades unions that have this very similar programs, where they're all, you work while you learn, you go to school either at night or one day every other week, and you get paid while you do it. I went to a symposium a couple years ago, and the fella, he stopped everybody. He said, listen, if you got kids, don't send them to college, teach them how to weld. We're going to need that, right? And it's being proven over and over. There's a labor shortage all over the place. We're suffering from it. I'm needing to get new members all the time, new sheet metal workers. So I just wanted to get that out there. If anybody does have any questions, I'll be around after the meeting. I have some information if anybody would like it. And if you don't get with me after the meeting, Keith knows how to get in touch with me. That's all. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Noble. Appreciate it. I didn't announce that I was opening the public hearing, but I did at 6:30. I'll now close the public hearing if there is no one else who is wishing to speak. I'll close the public hearing at 6:33. Agenda item 6, legislation. 6A is the second public hearing with possible action on ordinance number 1943, an ordinance adopting the general operating budget and capital improvement program of the Mayor and City Council of Laurel, Maryland for the fiscal year July 1, 2019 through June 30, 2020, and to levy property taxes and to authorize the collection of such taxes. I've read the title into the record. For the second reading, I will open the public hearing at 6:34. Ms. Saylor.
Mr. President, thank you. As you know, with the second public hearing, it's typical that we're able to take action on an ordinance. However, with the state constant yield tax rate law, in the tax property article section 6-308 that requires that we advertise if we're going to exceed the constant yield tax rate, which we are. Our tax rate is not increasing, but it is not going to be the 68 cents that the state has said we need to generate the same exact amount of revenue in FY 2020. I made arrangements and placed the ad for the May 13th meeting, but the time was changed from 7 to 6 p.m. So I made arrangements with the Sentinel to run the advertisement again on the 16th for tonight's meeting. However, they failed to run the ad. So you can't act on the ordinance for the budget until the advertisement is placed. It can't be placed and run any less than 7 days or any more than 21 days before the actual hearing. So we've made arrangements to have them run the advertisement in tomorrow's edition of the Sentinel for a public hearing on your meeting of Monday, June 10th. Other than that, I have no changes to the budget as it was presented to you previously.
Thank you, Ms. Saylor. Mayor, any comments?
No, it was the Sentinel's fault. Not,
yeah.
I'll just make that clear. No,
okay,
we're good.
Great.
We're fine and ready to answer any questions. And you know, it was unfortunate, but the Sentinel didn't run it. And we have to make sure it's one of our requirements.
Well, it gives the council the opportunity to, you know, if there are any questions or anything we still had some concerns about with the budget, we can ask, and it keeps the mayor humble to us for another couple of weeks. The third public hearing with possible action is scheduled, as Ms. Saylor stated, for the Mayor and City Council meeting on Monday, June 10th, 2019 at 6 o'clock p.m. I'll close the public hearing now, thank you, Mayor, at 6:37. Agenda item 6B is the introduction and first public hearing on resolution number 6-19, a resolution to set the polling places for regular voting in the city of Laurel for the general election on Tuesday, November 5th, 2019. I read the title into the record for the first reading. I will open the public hearing at 6:38. I have no one signed up to speak on this agenda item. Is there anyone who would like to speak? Seeing no one, additional discussion on this agenda item will be held at our work session on June 5th. We'll also have a second public hearing with possible action on this agenda item on Monday, June 10th, 2019 at 6 o'clock p.m. Agenda item 6C is the introduction and first public hearing on resolution number 7-19, a resolution to set the polling place, dates, and times for early voting in the city of Laurel for the general election on Tuesday, November 5th, 2019. I read the title into the record for the first reading. I'll open the public hearing at 6:39. Again, I have no one signed up to speak for this agenda item. Is there anyone wishing to speak? Seeing no one, I'll close the public hearing. Additional discussion will be held at our June 5th work session, and a second public hearing with possible action will be held at the Mayor and City Council meeting on Monday, June 10th, 2019 at 6 o'clock p.m. Councilwoman Nicholas.
I forgot to add during my reporting, I've been thinking about the fallen officer who was killed in the motorcycle accident. His name was Devon McKenzie. So I just ask that we keep his colleagues, families, and friends in our prayers. It was very sad. It was on the news this morning that, you know, he was killed on a motorcycle. So I just ask us just to continue to pray for the family. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Nicholas. That concludes our agenda. Meeting is adjourned.